I was blind. Good morning to everyone out there. Blessing to be coming to you from Greater Hope Baptist Church, Buffalo, New York. We thank God for this wonderful opportunity that He's given to us. We pray all is well with you. I want you to know that God is in the blessing business, and the truth is He's blessing us right now. This virus is still out there, and things are still going bad in many areas of our country. So we need to be prayerful and do all we can to stay protected, keeping your mask, make sure you wash your hands, and do those things that are so critical for today. If you're going to be within 6 feet of someone, then you ought to have a mask on. You ought to wear a mask because a mask allows you to protect others in case you have the virus. You can have the virus and not know you have it. The word is asymptomatic. You don't have any symptoms, but you have the virus and you can spread it. But then you ought to wear the mask too, because the mask protects you. I was just talking to one of our members just a few moments ago. We were in the church, and we're here every week. Someone knows the church open. The church has always been open. It's been open. We've just been limited by the number of people that we could have. Now they say we could have up to 50% capacity. And we just haven't just sounded the trumpet that the church is open. But the church is open because the virus is not in the church. You don't have to be afraid of in the church, just like you wouldn't be afraid going in the grocery store. Or you wouldn't be afraid of going into Walmart. You go into Walmart, you touch things, you pick up packages over and over again. And you do that when you go in. You go in where the vegetables are and fruit. You pick it up, you look at it, you put it down, so somebody else picked it up before you. The virus is not in the store. The virus is not in the church. The virus is in human beings. And so we have to protect ourselves from each other. And we do that by wearing a mask. Don't be afraid to come to the church. Just wear a mask. You want to wear gloves, wear gloves. Some of the members have given me masks and gloves. I go into a store at Hurdle, and right there they have gloves for you. They want you to put on the gloves when you go into the store. Other stores I go in, other stores, they don't have gloves. No gloves for you. Went into a restaurant the other day, and they have a glove. They give you a glove. It was a buffet restaurant. Go in there, and I was getting a takeout, and you use the glove, put the glove on. You handle the utensils with the gloves. The virus is not in the church. Sometimes we got this wrong idea about the church today. People think the virus is in the church. It is not in the church. The virus is in human beings. And it's not in all of us. But somebody might come in that has it. So therefore you ought to have a mask on. Therefore you ought to have on protective for yourself. You have to protect yourself. We have a very sick member. That member wants to come to church. And we were doing the Lord's Supper today. That member said, I'm going. I know how sick I am. But I know also that if I wear my mask, if I wear my gloves, I know I'm protecting myself. And you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself from your own family. I'm afraid for yesterday, July 4th. So many people had all these events going on. I saw people picking up senior people, getting in the cars and whatever, and my heart went out to them because it's dangerous. But if you have a mask on and your gloves, then you're all right. You don't need no mask on if ain't nobody around you. I walk in the park, I have the mask in my pocket. But if somebody come get close to me, I put the mask on. And you don't have to do it. but you have to protect yourself. And the struggle we have in the church today is that we have a group that's somewhat far right in support, I guess, of the president, and he doesn't wear a mask, and they have all these big church services, nobody have a mask on. They know that's the wrong message. They gather together, nobody has the mask on. They say, we're not going to wear a mask, we're not going to wear a mask. But then we know that if you wear a mask, you protect yourself. If you get on a plane, they won't let you fly unless you put on a mask. And they're putting people close together again. It's a small plane, everybody on it. The virus walks on an individual and walks off in that individual. So you keep your mask on, protect yourself, sanitize yourself, break some wipes with you, do what you need to do for you. People want to put all this weight on the church and all this weight on everybody else. And listen, it's up to you. You're the one that's going to get sick. You're the one. So you have to protect yourself. So the one extreme, people having church with no mask. And then the other extreme, people won't go to church at all. They won't go to church at all. As if they're afraid of the church. I'm afraid of the church. Don't be afraid of the church. Be afraid of your sister and brother. Be afraid of those people that come in your house. You gotta be careful. So wear the mask. Helps for trying times. You and I need to understand it is that we're in the midst of trying times. And if we're going to make it, we're going to have to do what needs to do. And so helps for trying times is where this brief series that we've been on. And today, coming from Psalms 41. Psalms 41. Psalms 41, verses 1, 2, and 3. Says, Psalm 41 and 1 says, blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. He shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness. This Psalms here, this Psalm of David, opens up with these wonderful words that are helps for trying times. David was in the midst of trying times. And David wanted us to know, wanted us to understand that we have help for trying times. And the word is so direct. The word is so direct. Psalms 41. Look how it opens up. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. Blessed is he that considers the poor. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. God is in love with the poor. The poor, the Bible says, have the gospel preached to them. The poor. God has made provisions for the poor. And you and I need to know that God says in his word that we are blessed when we consider the poor. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. You know, we're in such a mean world today. We drive by the poor, we walk by the poor, we ignore the poor. It's as if God has not put the poor in our view. And you don't have to look far for the poor. Sometimes the poor is right in your own house with you. Some of us are so mean, won't share with the poor in their own house. Won't share with their poor sisters and brothers, the poor neighbors. God said in his word, blessed is he that considereth the poor. You know, we're in this season now where normally we would be in major drives for Dominica. I'm encouraging people still to make sure you give toward the Dominica ministry. I think I saw an envelope, one of our members that sent $20, been giving money right along toward Dominica. We won't be able to travel to Dominica this year, it looks like it. I just canceled a ticket the other day, ticket bought in February. I just canceled a ticket the other day, just end of June. And because Dominica's airport has not opened up. The hotel has been closed. And looks like we're not going to be able to go there. But we're going to send funds to Dominica. We're going to put the money in the mail and send it to Dominica. Blessed is he that considered the poor. God says blessed. And the reason why this is helpful for trying times, because we have a list of things here that God promises for those who consider the poor. Oh, Lord, have mercy. God says in the Psalm, the needy shall not always be forgotten. Sometimes we don't forget about what it's like to be poor. I said in truth that I came from a poor family. I came from a good family. My father worked, my mother worked. There's 12 of us. I don't know anything about being hungry. I don't know anything about being naked. But I do know about poor, about poverty. I do know about not having what other folk had. I do know about people being mean. My mother had so many children, they were just talking about, Miss Eloise ought to have all them children. My daddy and mama never asked nobody to help them to do nothing. My father never had a sign out there to help us. We had relatives that were well off, but didn't want to give anything our way because my mother had too many children. We watched as others had and that. But God said in his word that he needs somebody to consider the poor. God has blessed you. Maybe your sister is poor because she done wrong. She did wrong. Maybe she deserved to be poor as far as the world says. But even those that deserve to be poor still need somebody to consider them. I'm so glad that somebody considered me. Not only did I come from a poor family, I became a poor family. Oh yes. My wife and I and 5 children. We were not rich. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord have mercy. But I'm so glad that there were people that considered the poor. Considered my father and considered the poor. I'm so glad. Blessed is he that considered the poor. I think Ollie Reeves said, Blackburn, get some eggs, get some fruit for your wife, take it home. Think Melvin Gurton, Dr. Gurton, get whatever you want to eat, what you want to eat. Stacy Shields, man, I got 2 beds in the room. I can't sleep in but one. I'm so glad that people consider the poor. Oh, Lord have mercy. Juanita Walton, go Pastor, I'll buy you a ticket to San Francisco, to Los Angeles. I'm so glad that God got people who consider the poor. John Williams, my good friend, and when we were going through this whole thing, he would put $5, $10 in the envelope and mail it to me from Toledo. He didn't have a whole lot of money, but he would send something my way. He knew what I was going through. And I thank God for people that consider the poor. God said, blessed is he that consider the poor. Listen, you want to turn things around in your life, consider the poor. Consider the poor, consider the poor. Just consider the poor. Give some thought to the poor. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. We are marching in the streets, we're doing everything. And people don't understand. A whole lot has to do with poverty, being poor, not having. Not even being considered. Not even being considered. Oh, Lord have mercy. You drive out in other neighborhoods. I go to other cities, surrounding cities. They have beautiful parks. They got swimming pools. They got everything. They got some of them claim the beach is theirs. Oh, Lord have mercy. And you grow up in this city poor and everything, and you don't have. and you don't have. People don't understand what it's like to be poor. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Consider the poor. The poor doesn't want a whole lot. The poor is not asking for all that you have. Somebody asks you, just give me $1. You have $1? Can you give me $1? Got any change? Can you have any change? You don't now, the poor is in a bad way. Because people don't have hardly nothing anymore. People don't have no dollar. People don't have a lot of change anymore. You used to have change. They don't have more change. Went in the store today, said, no change, no change. No change for the poor. No dollar bills for the poor. I ain't got nothing. I got a debit card. I don't carry money no more. I don't have nothing for the poor. Maybe you ought to take that debit card and go get your 10 $1 bills and put them in your pocket, put them in and then when somebody needs something, stick it out the window. I crack the window just a little bit and give it to them because we're living in a terrible age. Oh, Lord have mercy. Does he that consider the poor? When you pray, can you say, give us this day our daily bread? Can you include the poor in your prayer? Shame on us, shame on us, shame on us. That's why people break in and people do something. You got it, you won't give me none, I'm going in and get it. But all you got to do is just set the table out there, just set the table. We were poor, but Mama always had some food. Somebody came by, there was always something for somebody to get. This is what we had. What you cooking today, Miss? We got beans. You want some? They say beggars can't be choosy. Consider the poor. Don't take much. When Daniel told King Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel chapter 4, the king had a vision about, he saw this person, the nails going out, and that the kingdom was taken. Daniel said, be taken for 7 years. And Daniel said, King, let me give you some advice. Help the poor, do something for the poor, that your tranquility may last. The reason why our mind is gone and everything else is setting in, because we ain't taking no concern about the poor. We steady counting how much money we got. Oh, how much money I got, how much money I got. And your own children could use something. Your own neighbors, your own sisters, your own brothers could use something. And you so caught up in yourself. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Blessed he that considered the poor. Look what the blessings are. Look what he said. He said, number one, the Lord will deliver him in the time of trouble. The Lord will deliver him in the time of trouble. You want get out of jail free card? You want something? You ought to do something for the poor. Blessed he consider the poor. What's going to happen? The Lord will deliver him in the time of trouble. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Blessed he that consider the poor. The Lord will deliver him in the time of trouble. This is a troubling time that we're in. This invisible virus. And they say some of these masks we have, they're really not good masks. Some people say the tests that people are taking are really not good tests. Oh, Lord have mercy. A time of trouble. But God says in his word that if you consider the poor, God said he will deliver him in the time of trouble. The Lord will do that. Look at verse 2. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. The Lord will. God takes the matter in his own hands. The Lord will, you consider the poor, then God steps in to consider you. you consider the poor, then God steps in to consider you. It don't cost much. It don't cost much to consider the poor. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. You never heard me tell my little Crystal Beach story about needing a nickel to get a donut? Lord, have mercy. I wish somebody just said, little boy, you want a donut? Yes, I do. I want a donut. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. God will deliver him in a time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. Preserved by the Lord. Oh, Lord. When they would preserve something, they canned stuff, it would keep. It would keep. Or the jar might be dusty on the outside. Just on the outside. They take that, screw that mason jar, take that cap off, unscrew it, and that seal is still there, tight. And then Mama and them pop that seal. And that was ready to go. Preserve. God knows how to keep you. God knows how to keep you. God knows how to do it. You got to learn how to trust the Lord. How to let the Lord have his way in your life. God said, I'll preserve you. God said, I will keep you alive. And then God says, he shall be blessed upon the earth. Can you imagine that? God says, you consider the poor, and I'm going to bless you on the earth, on the earth, on the earth. Reverend Ike used to say it, I don't want no pie in the sky, I want my pie right now. Reverend Ike, you could have them both. You could have had them both. Maybe you do have them both. You could have them both. By considering the poor, God said he'll bless you on the earth. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Isn't it amazing what Jesus said? Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. There's so many ways of being blessed, bringing all the tithe into the storehouse. Prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, I will not open up the windows, pour you out, blessing you will not have room enough to receive. God says, I'll bless them that bless you, and people still want to bless the pastor. I'll bless them that bless you. Curse him that curseth you. Oh, Lord, have mercy. God is in the blessing business. As I said, Jesus said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You give the poor $1. You there, and the man is standing with a buck, asking you to help me, I'm poor. He may be telling all kind of lies. That's up to him. Jesus said, he that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. That's what Jesus said. That's what Jesus said. He that receiveth a prophet in the name, the prophet may be lying by Beck's watch. I guess Beck's watch just didn't work. But the Bible says, God says that since you receive them that way, you receive a prophet's reward. You know what a prophet's reward is? A prophet's reward is that a prophet lacks nothing. Oh, I said I had a poor family, but that's my children, that's my wife. They'll tell you, we've been young and we're getting older, and we've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. We ain't never had to beg no bread. God is a way with promises, he keeps them. God says, I will bless, you shall be blessed on the earth. All this in heaven too. All this in heaven too. God said he's going to bless you on the earth. Just for considering the poor. Now, I ain't meddling no money about these dogs. They got all these commercials about these dogs that's sick and laying at that, got these dogs looking so pitiful. He ain't say blessed are those who consider the dogs. But blessed are those who consider the poor. God will bless them on the earth. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Look what God says too. And thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. Yeah, there's enemies out there. I really didn't care for the word, but it was just used so much for a while. The haters. But God, the Bible talks about God got haters in the Bibles and the Psalms. Haters. Yeah, there's people out there just don't like you for no reason, don't know your name, don't know nothing about you. May not like you because of the color of your skin. May not like you because of the car you drive, whatever. He said, oh, that's a beautiful car you drive, beautiful car you drive. Yeah, I just should tell them, listen, I don't own it. They should just say, there's a beautiful car, but I don't own it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm so glad that I don't have to own it. I'm so glad that I don't have to own it. I'm so glad about it. I would rent this. Somebody want to buy me a suit to rent and wear, I wear it. I ain't got to own it. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. God said he'll deliver him in the time of trouble. God said he'll preserve him. God said he will keep him alive. And God says he will bless them upon the earth. And he will not deliver them unto the will of his enemies. You know, God delivers us unto the will of our enemies. Job said, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job never gave Satan any credit at all because God delivered Job into the hands of Satan. We got this thing so messed up. God is in control. God is in control. And you gotta trust him. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. God said the Lord will deliver him in a time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him, keep him alive. He shall be blessed upon the earth. Thou wilt not deliver him under the will of his enemies. And then God said he will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Oh, Lord have mercy. God will strengthen him. I would think, if anything, you all want to do the poor. So in case you get on your bed of languishing, God will keep you. God said he will make all his bed in his sickness. Sickness. Has been a long time since you've been sick. You ought to thank the Lord for it. You ought to thank the Lord for it. You ought to make some provisions for future sickness. You can make those provisions by considering the poor. Considering the poor. Considering the poor. I'm so grateful that God has given us a mind as a church to consider the poor. Reverend He said, not only to the people tithe, but the church should tithe also. The church should tithe. I'm so glad that here at Greater Hope, we believe that God blesses a tither and a tithing church. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. We send money to Haiti. The Haitians are suffering. Oh, Lord have mercy. A long list of people that we try to make a difference in their lives. People that consider the poor. God says that he will deliver them in a time of trouble. He will preserve them. I pray that you would make up your mind that you want to be a help to the poor. Those that would like to do something for Dominica, you can send it. If you send it to the church, give it a $5 and mark it Dominica. We'll make sure that it goes that way. If you want to support the church, you can. You can send to Givelify, use Givelify, Greater Hope Buffalo. Just go out online and download Givelify app, and then search for Greater Hope Buffalo. You see a picture of my wife and I, you know you had Greater Hope, picture of the church. And you can give to Greater Hope. You can also give through Cash App, $ Greater Hope Buffalo, and it will come to the church. Oh, Lord, have mercy. If you want to be a blessing to me, you can send dollar J Clyde 71. The Bible says, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Let's keep trusting God. But God has a way with promises. He keeps them. God bless you.